Lenei lai tula Samoa, ia ole a se i o tātou whaatalo whalo i atu fo i ilana fionga I lenei taia. Well, good morning and welcome back again. Kia ora, haere mai, hoki mai ano, to our Radio Samoa Breakfast Show. It's a privilege and an honour to have you back on our show. Your Honourable Dr. Shane Reti I lenei fo today. Welcome back, and it's a privilege to have you back on our show.
Talofa lava morena koutou. Good to speak with you again.
Right, awesome. Dr. Shane Reti, we've just wrapped up our Samoan week, language week last week. I bet you have learned some few words.
What I've done is I've reassured myself of the greetings, and been very pleased to see the use of Samoan during the language week in Parliament and in other places, just to lift that profile of Samoan as a language. So yes, always that opportunity. I go out of my way with each language week to particularly add another greeting to the Maori greeting, which I would normally give. And last week it was Samoan. So pleased to be able to just continue to slightly improve my knowledge of that.
Awesome, awesome. Well, let's get right into our questions this morning. Your Honourable, in the budget that we just heard and that has been delivered last week, we see that the funding for the Ministry of Pacifica Peoples has been slashed by 26 million, from 116 million down to 90 million. Please, Minister, can you explain the reasoning behind this cut?
Yes, two things. First of all, the ministry was one of those ministries that was required to make a reduction in size, and so that contributes it, that 7.5% reduction that other ministries also needed to make. And then secondly, a number of programs were coming to their natural conclusion. So that's how those savings come to be. Most importantly, it's the ability to deliver. And in the funding that we have for the Ministry for Pacific Peoples, we will deliver tangible benefits to Pacific people. So yes, a reduction due to the savings that other ministries needed to find as well, and then the natural conclusion of some programs.
Awesome, thank you. So, as the Minister for Pacific Peoples, how will you ensure the ministry will actually produce real tangible outcomes or benefits for our Pacific peoples in areas such as housing and upskilling with the funding that they do have of about 90 million?
So here's what part of the difference will be to the Ministry for Pacific Peoples and the tangible benefits that Pacific peoples will feel. As we've done in other portfolios, we'll set targets which hold us and the ministry accountable. And those targets will be around the economy, they'll be around infrastructure and housing, they'll be around health, they'll be around education, the big public benefits that we said would accrue. And so the difference in our hands, the difference in my hand, is that we'll have specific targets for things that matter to Pacific people that they'll be able to see are actually delivered. That's the key difference.
Wow, great. Well, so, but why was there not enough funding for the new cancer treatment drugs in the budget?
Oh, so we've made announcements. We've said that we are committed to funding those drugs, and very shortly we'll have announcements around that. So it's just hold your breath for a moment, and then we'll make further announcements around that very soon.
Great, great. Thank you, Your Honourable. So we've got some follow-up questions. So how soon will those new cancer treatments drug will be funded for patients?
Oh, what we've said is as soon as we can. We'd like to, certainly in this term, we'll definitely be making a start. So we're just pulling that some of that information together, but very shortly. Again, we'll have announcements to make soon.
Awesome, thank you. Well, we've heard that the Prime Minister is travelling to the Pacific this week as his first ever trip to the Pacific region. Would you like to tell us about that trip?
Sure. So the Prime Minister is travelling into the Pacific, and he's looking to further establish the relationships we have with our Pacific neighbours. Bear in mind, the Minister of Foreign Affairs has had at least two trips, excuse me, into the Pacific, and indeed I was able to join him on the first trip, which was to Tonga, Samoa, and on the third trip. So again, the second trip, which we only just returned from, we were able to go to the Solomons, to Papua New Guinea, Vanuatu, and also to Tuvalu. Actually, the first trip took us to the Cook Islands as well. So the Minister of Foreign Affairs has been widely out into the Pacific with his deep knowledge and love of the Blue Continent. And this is an opportunity for the Prime Minister to be out into some of these countries as well.
Awesome. So, do you think this government will consider strengthening ties with the Pacific by offering travel-free visas to countries like Samoa or Fiji, just like what we do have with Australia?
So that's a discussion between foreign ministers. What you're seeing is the signal of the warmth we have for the Pacific countries, the fact that we've been so busy in the Pacific so quickly, uh, and that desire for all of us to hunt together as a region, to look back at our past deep relationships that we've had with each other and continue to use those relationships as we look forward. Maori have a saying, we walk into the future looking back at the past, and I think the past has been good for us in our relationships with Pacific peoples.
That's awesome, and I hope that we will all say the same thing and that we'll all sing the same song for the benefit of our people. Well, I think we have come to the end of our interview this morning, and we'd just like to thank you so much, Your Honourable Dr. Shane Reti, for taking your time, your busy schedule to join with us this morning. Thank you for joining us and sharing us your valuable insights on some of those questions that we've asked about. Your dedication to the community, we acknowledge, and we are privileged that you are always out for the benefit of our people. And we thank you so much. May you have a blessed day.
Morena Māori, peaceful morning to you as well.
Thank you. Ia lana Samoa wa e whaafafonga fo'i ia mo mātou whaalongolongo fo'i le nei fo'i tūla le tae au se whaatalatala noanga le nā ia malana fionga fo'i leo lo tūla i mai fo'i I le fo'i le nei fo'i taimi le tau aveina o le matanga luenga o tangata Pasifika ia lana wa e whaafonga nisi fo'i o vaenga o lo whaatawaina fo'i I le tala o le tupe ia matala whaatatau o le tupe I le nei fo'i taimi o le tau sanga mai se fo'i ia le tūla i mai ai fo'i o le whainga mālo tātou no whatatala fo'i ina ianga le leile le atua I le taʻitaʻina o le whainga malo e maise ia maua le manuia o tangata lautele e ala I nei fo'i whaamanuianga o loo whaapena o na whaamatu mai e le whainga malo mo I tātou e ia manuia tele lava fo'i Samoa lau whaafongafonga e ma futa mai e pea I le malu le tae o lau Radio Samoa.